Hey guys, Dr. Ben here. We are going to have a live Q&A today. We have questions all the time of all types of different subjects, obviously health related, but all the way from what supplements to take, what may be going on, why can't I lose weight, why am I in pain, all these different things. So bring your questions, pop them down below, and we're coming at you from live from multiple Facebook pages around the country. So no matter where you are, we get a lot of people from around the world, all over from New York to California, North Dakota to Texas, everything in between. So pop those down below, and we'd love to answer any questions you have. But remember, when you're asking a question, get to the why. That's what we want to get to. Hey, Deanne, great to see you up in Michigan there. So get to the why. Get to not how much X supplement should I take. That's a fine question, but why is my body having these issues in the first place? And what can I do to help get my health back? That's how we work with patients every single day, is to step back, take a look at blood work. So let's get into that. We get that question all the time. So again, pop those questions down below. Also let us know where you're watching from. So here's some of the questions that we get all the time. What should I be looking for in blood work? And this is such a huge part of the process of finding the true underlying causes and then getting that true healing going on in the body. So what we look at is, when we start looking for blood work, you want to look at multiple factors. And every single person that comes in, we're looking for autoimmune because we find it in a lot of people. I've got a 50-year-old guy from Nebraska. We found he had Hashimoto's and high ANA, which is a precursor to lupus and some things like that. And guess what? He had no idea about those. So we're catching it preventatively. You also want to look at GGT. I always say this is the #1 liver marker that people need to be looking at, but they're not. GGT tells us about fatty liver. You want to be looking at C-reactive protein and homocysteine. Those are both inflammatory markers that are going to tell us how inflammation is doing in the body, in the cardiovascular, in the brain, all types of different places. You want to look at A1C, hemoglobin A1C, to see where your blood sugar is averaging. You want to look at Hashimoto's markers. So if you're not looking at your thyroid markers for autoimmune, you are missing out, because a lot of people, especially if they have low thyroid, are having those. So here's a question from Tabitha. I would like your opinion on interstitial cystitis. They say it's incurable and it's not really treatable. What is your suggestion to help with repair? So the IC there, what we see for a lot of people is that it is an autoimmune component to that. And if you can calm down that immune inflammatory cascade in the body, you will see some massive changes in that. So that interstitial cystitis, it's a kind of a feeling of an emergency. You've got to urinate. There's pressure, pain, irritation, a lot of different ways it can come up in there. But that definitely is going to be an inflammatory, potentially even autoimmune component to it. So definitely look at that autoimmune side. Check out some of our autoimmune videos. Brittany will pop down below our YouTube channel, and in there, just search for autoimmune, and we've got tons of videos on autoimmune, and start going down that path of figuring out where these underlying imbalances are coming from. Debbie, good to see you. Marcy in Kansas. All right. Most important advice for reversing managing diabetes while needing a new heart. So here's the good part. Doesn't matter if you need a new heart, if your heart broken, if your guts off, whatever it is. If you've got diabetes, and this is even going for type 1 as well, if you're insulin dependent. But for people that have type 2 diabetes, it is pretty darn simple. And we can reverse this. We can repair this. People can get their life back with their blood sugar and get rid of their diabetes. We see it all the time. Here's what you do. You start monitoring your blood sugar, and things that make it go up too high, you don't eat those. Things that make it stay in the good range, you eat more of those. And so you do more of the good stuff, less of the bad stuff. Yes, there are other systems that need to be addressed. Your liver is probably stressed. You're probably creeping into fatty liver. And so we've got to do a cleanse and we've got to give support to that liver. Your gut's probably irritated. So we've got to go through and kill off bad bacteria or yeast or parasites or whatever it is. We've got to go through healing up that gut lining. Working on the brain. We were just talking about this morning on Facebook about belly fat being a big indicator of potential dementia, even Alzheimer's. So it causes that blood sugar imbalance causes neurological degeneration, which is going to cause brain degeneration. So a huge part of the process is getting that glucose monitoring. For us, every new patient that we work with, they put a patch on and they get a continuous feed. Every 5 minutes, they're getting an update as to what their blood sugar is. And this is going to happen in the middle of the night, during the day, everything. And if everybody did that, we could reverse diabetes. 90% of diabetes could go away if you could actually teach somebody what to eat and what not to eat based on what their blood sugar is doing. So great question. Where would be a good source to reference on daily supplement dosages like vitamin C and quercetin, and how often for preventative versus symptoms? Brittany can pop up a little blurb that we got from another website that has some good information on there. But the vitamin C, 1,000 to 2,000 a day, preventatively. The quercetin, 1 to 2 capsules, depending on how big those are. And then symptoms, when that comes on, we just sent out an email today, and we had a great video on Monday about it as well. So if you do not get our emails, pop that down below. Send us your email address, but also you can send us a direct message if you don't want everybody seeing your email, and get on that email list. But we just sent one out this morning talking about a bunch of hacks that you can do when that comes in. So bumping up those supplements can really be helpful. And is 1,000 NAC okay? I could not find 600. Yeah, 1,000 should be fine. I have not seen any, oh my gosh, you're overdosing on NAC. If you were doing 3, 4, 5,000, maybe, but 1,000 should be fine on that one. Scleroderma and internal bleeding. So, with the scleroderma and the internal bleeding, probably some autoimmune component going on. And what we've got to do with autoimmune is we've got to take a step back, draw that circle, autoimmune in the middle, and then draw lines off of there. All of these things that can be driving that immune inflammatory cascade. So what does that look like? Well, you've got to look for blood sugar swings. Each time it goes up too high or down too low, it revs up that immune response. Every time the adrenals get really revved up, that's a big part of it. If the hormonal changes like estrogenic events take place, if you go on birth control, if you go on hormone replacement, if you go through menopause, if you have a baby, all these things can drive it. If you have a chronic infection, so Epstein-Barr or H. pylori or some of these bacteria and viruses can really drive that as well. All these different things, you've got to peel off those layers, and ultimately, yes, you can get healing those. Hey, Kayla, great to see you. Saw your father-in-law the other day at Shields. He's doing great. We're so excited for you guys. So, we're praying for you. Everything comes out wonderful. Patricia and 26 below zero. Holy cow. Having blood work done next week, yearly check, having my thyroid checked. Is TSH enough of a test? Great question, Patricia. Absolutely not. TSH, not even a thyroid hormone. TSH is a pituitary hormone, is going to be a pituitary hormone that tells the thyroid what to do. So we do not know what the thyroid's doing just by looking at TSH. You need to look at total T3 and T4, free T3 and free T4, and your thyroid antibodies, which are going to be the TPO and the TG, the thyroglobulin. So you need to run all of those. And even if they'll do it, run a reverse T3 as well. So you need to run that whole gamut. That's what we do on everybody that we get blood work through. So remember, with that blood work, if you guys are looking for blood work anywhere in this country, we can drop ship our blood kit to you, and we will do a consult with you with one of our doctors and show you exactly what's out of balance in that blood work. So it takes about a week to drop ship the kit to you, and then you FedEx it overnight. You get it drawn locally. So if there's a lab that will drop for you, a mobile phlebotomist, anything like that, whether you're up in North Dakota or you're in Florida, anything in between, you get that blood drawn and then get it shipped out. Within a week, we will have a conversation set up with you with one of our FA doctors and go over exactly what you have going on. And so even if you cannot get this kind of blood work anywhere, or your doctor won't run it, whatever, we have it set up, cash prices, very reasonable to be able to get the blood work that you need. All right, I'm doing well on armor, but my functional nurse says it's under control and didn't mention autoimmune. A1C is 5.6. So you're right on the verge of pre-diabetes. I also have controlled IC. All this from the parvovirus. Why are they so sure I don't have autoimmune? Have you checked your Hashimoto's markers? Anti-TPO, anti-thyroglobulin, TG. You have to run those two markers. If they're positive, you've got autoimmune and you've got Hashimoto. So I would not be surprised with everything else you have going on if you do have some type of Hashimoto's. If you can't get those run, if they won't get those run, let us know and we can help you get those blood tests done. What can someone do for a sinus infection? Asking for a friend. So sinus infections, you've got to figure out the why ultimately. And a lot of people, they're living in a moldy house, working in a moldy building, things like that. So start digging deeper for mold, especially if it's this recurrent chronic infection in there. But otherwise, a lot of times, yes, you can do topical things. You can do sprays with food grade hydrogen peroxide. There's different sprays that we use with patients that have all types of kill off in it, and those can be very, very helpful. The other thing is to look at the overall status of your immune system. You've got to get that immune system as strong as possible. And so if it is weak, if it's depleted, you will get those recurrent sinus infections. Is milk thistle the best way to detox the liver? Morgan, no, it is not the best way to detox the liver. The best way to detox the liver is to quit toxifying the liver, because there's no amount of milk thistle, there's no amount of NAC or glutathione or any type of supplement that is going to out detoxify a toxic liver. And so you have to take a step back and figure out why that liver is having a problem in the first place. A lot of people, it's because they are creeping into fatty liver and because their blood sugar is spiking up and even crashing down. And so if your liver enzymes are going up, you have to test GGT. And if your GGT is high, then it is a blood sugar based fatty liver disease going on. We can't diagnose this officially without an ultrasound, but if your GGT is elevated, and anything over 20 in our book, if it's over 20, you are creeping towards that fatty liver state. You've got to get that blood sugar stabilized. If your GGT is fine and your AST and ALT are high, those are the other liver enzymes, then it's more of a viral issue potentially. And that's why you look at lymphocytes and you look at white blood cell count. So I've got some other videos on this. Check out the YouTube channel. But I wish milk thistle was enough to detoxify the liver, but no, you have to take that step back and you've got to get that why the liver is toxic in the first place. What do you think about someone who falls asleep after eating? Patty, check your blood sugar. It's either spiking up or it's when you're crashing down. For me, if I hit over like 135, I'm going to lie down and feel like taking a nap. Some people, it's when they're crashing, but most of the time that's going to be a blood sugar based issue. So get your glucose monitor out and check what your blood sugar is doing at those times. Darla, should blood sugar be after 30 to 60 minutes? I thought you were supposed to test 2 hours after eating. Yes, absolutely, 30 to 60 minutes. We have been testing blood sugar for years and years with people, and 30 to 60 minutes is that optimal time. 2 hours, if you search the internet, you'll find 2 hours, but that's for full-blown diabetics. That's for people that are having major diabetes issue, and it's going to go up, 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 up. But so many people that are having blood sugar issues that aren't diabetic, their blood sugar has already done that. I've seen people hit 190 and crash down to 110 within the first hour. So there's no way that 2 hours we would have caught anything. It would have looked totally fine. So unfortunately, no, 2 hours. 2 hours, somebody might already be crashing and they might already be going hypoglycemic. I'm going to take oil of oregano and mastic gum for H. pylori. How much do you suggest? So, it's hard to say. Depends on what type of oil of oregano and the mastic gum. But H. pylori, yeah, it's a tough one. And you really need to do 30 days of kill off. And if you have a spouse, they need to do it as well. Number one infection in this world is H. pylori infections. Over 60% of the population in the world have H. pylori. So you need to also give those supplements. If you have a husband, you need to give them to your husband because you guys will be sharing H. pylori. And if he doesn't get rid of it, you're going to get it back. I had COVID a month ago, but still getting on and off sore throat, sinus drainage. I tried nebulizer, hydrogen peroxide, and had a high dose vitamin C IV with mineral amino acids and glutathione in it. Singing that breath, long COVID. That could be long COVID. That could just be that your sinuses are irritated and you still have an infection going on there. I would look at getting some sprays. There's a really good one that we use, but if you can do any type of spray with black walnut, with iodine, with any type of kill off in there can be really, really helpful, but it's probably dripping down from those sinuses. The other thing that you would want to look for, if you're local to Colorado and could get here, we can do something called a nasal specific, but otherwise Google nasal specific technique near you, and that's where you basically put a balloon into the nasal cavity, expand it, and people, those sinus infections can go away. Love the list. We are doing elderberry, fawn. Great to see you. Amy, I watched your video about leaky gut. That hit home. Thanks for the information. Absolutely, Amy. Leaky gut is such a crucial part of what's going on with people's health. We've got to take a step back. We've got to start working on healing that gut lining. And it's not just about big open oozing sores, but it's also, when the body gets irritated, it can open up for 4, 6, 8 hours and allow things into that gut lining. So it's very, very complex through there. Tammy, we use the Dexcom G6. It is prescription only. We have it set up where we can get those for our patients. If you're interested in that, we can run blood work with you. Doctor can review it, and then we can get that CGM for you. Janie, great to see you. Hope you're doing okay in that snow. How do you help kill off bad bacteria in the gut? My daughter had a stool sample and it shows an overabundance of both good and bad bacteria. So one of the things we start with is oil of oregano. We've got a version that is time release that can get down into that digestive tract, kill things off. You can do things like wormwood, garlic, a lot of those different things. And then you bring back the good bacteria. And you probably, if it's really bad, you may need to go through it 2 or 3 times. Video on Lyme disease would be great. Yes, Lucy, that is very, very common. Just had another patient. Susan, great to see you. I've got some kind of crud. I've been taking supplements like crazy, wondering what I am doing wrong, feeling frustrated. Well, it depends how long it's been going on. If we're dealing with this for months, then that's something else. That's depleted immune system, some things like that. If we're a week or two in and still kind of dealing with it, it may just be a bad bug, and you may have been a little depleted when you got in there. So that depends where it's coming from. If it's in the lungs, if it's in the sinuses, let me know, Sheila, what's going on there. But otherwise, yeah, you got this. You just got to keep, you can't out supplement a cold. You can't out supplement a flu. There's a lot of other things that you've got to do to take care of yourself. Are you getting the sleep that you need? Are you getting the exercise? All these other things. Michelle, great to see you. Going to be up snowshoeing up in Rocky Mountain tomorrow. Going to be a wonderful day. I know you guys had a couple feet of snow. My daughter has fibromyalgia and all the things under that umbrella. Currently struggling with TGN on both sides. 2 surgeries, 1 failed and 1 couldn't be completed midstream. She has PCOS, TMJ, carpal tunnel, and has had 2 stomach surgeries. She's done all the testing, even did the Epstein-Barr diet for 9 months. Currently in home with COVID pneumonia. Where should she start? Doctors want to fix issues via surgery, but they don't always work. Well, I can tell you this, that is intense, and there's a lot going on, and no amount of surgery, no amount of drug, even no amount of supplement is going to fix her. That there's got to be some type of autoimmune going on. If she's got PCOS, she's got a major insulin-resistant metabolic syndrome issue going on there as well. Have you looked at autoimmune markers? Have you looked at Hashimoto's? What's her thyroid doing? What's her liver doing? All of these other things. So, the first step, if you can, if you're close to either Tennessee or Colorado, get in, we can check that out. Otherwise, if you're around the country, we can drop ship blood work to her and run an in-depth panel, look at inflammatory markers and hormones and all these different things, and then do a consult, let you guys know exactly what you need to start doing. So, that is an intense one. There's no one magic fix there. Kristen, does insurance cover that? I imagine you're talking about the blood work. No, the blood work, it's a couple $100s for the blood work. So it's not even worth it to even try to get insurance to cover that. If you did the same panel through insurance, it would be about $3,000. So most people, their deductible or copay or whatever is more than what it costs to do that blood work. Just had a 24-hour bout of food poisoning. No fun other than rehydrating. What do you recommend to help me get better? Is it okay to start a probiotic on an empty stomach? Absolutely, Carrie, get started on that probiotic. I would think about doing some kill off as well. So whether that's oil of oregano, some garlic-based products, some different things, that is going to be huge to get going in there. Kristen, fibromyalgia, and currently recovering COVID pneumonia. So Kristen, fibromyalgia, usually an autoimmune component. Sometimes there's a thyroid or adrenal component to it as well. You've got to do that in-depth evaluation and figure out what is truly out of balance. Can you help in Sydney, Australia? Yes, I was just talking to my team yesterday, and we are able to drop ship blood work to Sydney. Otherwise, if you can get the labs run and your PCP will run all the labs that we want to see, we can do that, and then we can start working remotely and even drop ship supplements there as well. So snowing in Missouri, crazy, huh? And how much oil of oregano and mastic gum? Yeah, Marion, again, those are going to vary depending on what kind you have. Some are liquid, some are capsules. Please help with like a consult. Doctor here say they can't do anything. My vitamins and minerals I take a long list. I only like holistic. Yeah, Felicia, here's the deal. Send us a direct message and Brittany will talk to you about what that process looks like. We can get a blood kit drop shipped to you, and then one of our doctors, our F8 trained doctors, will do a consultation with you and tell you exactly what you have going on. So just send us over a direct message on that. Are you able to do do the monoclonal treatments in your office. I do not do them here. What I recommend everybody do is call around, even if you don't have COVID, know where you are going to go. It's kind of like your bug out bag. Have a plan in place. So if you get sick on this day, how many days until you're going to call about monoclonal antibodies and get that done? When are you going to start taking certain supplements? You need a game plan in place. There are quite a few offices down here that can do those, Michelle. And if you're having issues, you'll definitely get a hold of us. But otherwise, call some of the different medical clinics and see who can do those for you. Best way to cleanse and kill saturation of Candida overgrowth. My best and favorite one is that Brittany, that ADP. You can put down below there in full scripts. And so what is normal blood sugar after 30 to 60 minutes? 85 to 110. So Debbie, there you go. Sharon, long COVID, stimulate the vagal nerve several times a day. That can definitely be helpful. Where do I get the black walnut nasal spray? I'll talk to you, Brittany. I'll let you know, and we can do that one. We can even drop ship that one. So you can give them our number, Brittany, to call the office, and we can get that drop shipped out. With the blood work, do you have insurance? How does that work? I'm in New York. Well, Kristen, New York is actually the one state that is very particular about drop shipping the blood work. So drop us a line, and we'll talk to you about that one. And all right, Samantha, you are very welcome. Yeah, you guys getting snow down there. All right, I've got to run. I'll answer more of those questions later. If you're watching this down the road, let us know what questions you have, and we will be checking those all day long. So love having you guys on. Hope this information is helpful. Hope it motivates you to get your health back. All right, guys, stay strong and make it a great day.